Hey YouTube, it's Cello Ben here, and today's day 5 of the 100 days of practice. Like I said on Instagram last night, today I'm going to tackle a little bit of Strauss, but first I wanted to talk about dealing with mistakes that you make in a first rehearsal, or I guess this can apply to any rehearsal, but the first rehearsal is probably where you're going to be making the most mistakes, especially if it's something you haven't played before. So obviously I show up to rehearsals prepared, but there are very often, almost always, differences when you're playing something in context than when you're playing it just on your own in a practice room. So most things went very well yesterday, I'm happy to say. But a couple of the soli I had, one in the Strauss piece I'm going to cover and one in the revel, had some ensemble problems on my part. So one thing that I really need to do is fix that for the next time that I'm in rehearsal for those pieces. And that's a difficult thing to do on your own. One thing that is involved is going back to the score and also some recordings and looking very carefully. The revel is especially difficult just because of the nature of the piece. It has so much rubato and stretching and releasing of tempi, and it means that as well as I thought I was familiar with the piece, I have to get even more familiar in order to make sure that I'm comfortable going with the ebbs and flows of the style that the revel is in. Strauss is not exactly similar in that respect, but the place where I had a little issue is because even though I went through the score and wrote in cues in my part, it seems that there are some more cues that I need to write in order to make sure that I'm really in the groove with everybody and right where I need to be. So those are a couple of projects for this morning for after I do this video, but I want to do another thing today that proved difficult in context, which is a little first stand soli passage in this Strauss piece, which is the Rosenkavalier suite. Awesome piece, I love it, but I've never played it before. So yesterday was my first time putting it in context, and mostly went well. And actually the spot that I'm about to work on went quite well in the rehearsal, but I don't feel solid on it yet. And here's why. This is how my part goes. Relatively straightforward, but it's harmonized by my stand partner, like so. And it makes it so that I have to pay more attention to getting all the intervals correct, especially that one. That's the one that's really been tripping me up. So what I'm going to try to do first is I'm going to sing through the inside part. Okay, so just that little part. Now I'm going to attempt to sing through that part while I play through mine. So that proved a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be, because we've got this big leap up here, and it's done by both people on the first stand, but starting from different places and ending up at a different place. Let me just get... That's better. Let me try one more time from the top of this little passage. So what I noticed is that when I isolated that part before, I did a fingering that I don't do when it's actually in context. So I need to adjust that. I don't like that fingering, so I'm going to do what's written in this part and try it the way I've been doing it before. Better. So that's where that is now. I think I'm going to be more confident next time this comes up in rehearsal. But also regarding the parts that I noticed I had the ensemble issues with, I'm going to go back to the scores, and now that I've realized that there's a little bit of additional stuff I need to write into my part, I'm going to take care of that. It's really helpful also in rehearsals when you notice that there's a problem with something. If you're able to, like if the part that's on the stand is the one that you're going to be getting to take home with you at the end of rehearsal, just put a little asterisk in the corner or in the margin of wherever you've found an issue, and then just go back home and review those asterisks, and that's a really good starting point. But I guess my experience so far is going to show that you can come in feeling very prepared, but if it's a piece that you haven't played before, there are more than likely going to be some things that pop up in the context of performing it that you weren't necessarily expecting, even if you've done diligent score study and part preparation and whatnot. I'm going to go back to the scores, do some more careful study, and then spend more time at the cello, and try to redeem myself going forward. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.